Thank you guys for the opportunity to talk about this incredible project. Let me start. Let me start with you, Julian. Golf is not a typical sport in cinema. Perhaps maybe because of the latest perception it may have, or maybe because many people do not understand it. And in this film, you have Latinos playing golf, which is like more strange. However, this mix is precisely one of the main attractions of the film. So how did you react when you received the script for the film?
Yeah, so first and foremost, the fact that it's a Latino story, right away I felt connected to it. And then the fact that it's a true story just added a little bit more depth to what I felt about the story because it's true. And so just a true Latino story. And then on top of that, having golf incorporated, it's a sport that I actually played before I even did the movie. And I love to play. I love the game. So that was just the cherry on top for me. But but I right away, like I said, the main things that connected to me was it being a Latino story and it being a true story for sure.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And I agree 100%. Paulina, the first thing I have to tell you is my 9-year-old daughter just screamed last night when we were watching the film because she's, oh, that's Ashley Garcia. So thank you for such an incredible performance and for being such an inspiration for my daughter. Let me ask you something I liked about your character is that not only is Joe's romantic interest, but she also has dreams and she's not going to let a boy ruin them for her. So and we're seeing this more and more in films throughout the year. So what was it like working on this aspect, this specific aspect of the film?
Oh my goodness, I feel like characters like this kind of just find me when I read the script. First of all, I mean it's based on a true story, and I am from Texas and I didn't even know of this story, and so I thought that was crazy in itself. And then getting to read Daniela's pieces, I just knew that I needed to be in this film from the beginning. And yeah, I mean, women are amazing. I and Latinas are just incredible. And so to have them showcased in this film as more is amazing. And we do have brains and we have thoughts, and having Daniela just being so outspoken and knowing what she wants is amazing. And I think the women in this film very much are the definition of behind every successful man is a great woman.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's Daniela, and I'm just so honored.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. So one last question, Julian. How do you see Latinos advancing within the industry? You may have, there's so many movements. We started with the Oscars so why, the Me Too movement, and but I think that the industry is advancing in terms of diversity, representation. So what can you say about where we are right now as Latinos in Hollywood, and what do you think we need to do to to keep moving forward?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, with there were so many movements going on in Hollywood. Around the time when we were shooting this, the whole George Floyd incident happened. Like that was a hot topic. The Black community, came together and they were able to move forward and make projects in Hollywood. So I sort of feel like right now is the time for us, and we're doing it. But it starts off with the support. Esta película es muy, importante por nuestra cultura. It's very important for our culture, so we could go and we need to support. Unless we want these stories told, we need the support in the box office. So I just hope that everyone, gathers around it and really, goes to the movie theater and buys a ticket to watch this because, the people up top, the studio heads, they're all about numbers. And once they see that, there is a fan base and that we do have, people that will go out and support our movies, then more stories like this will be told for sure.
Excellent, beautiful. Thank you for that, Latina. Paulina, what do you think about the same aspect or the same question?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, I agree with everything that Julian said. Yeah, I think it's so important to support us and support each
Hmm.
other. I think that's like the
Exactly.
biggest thing, that all of us get together and raise each other and promote each other. and create our own content. And this movie is very much that opening to continue telling these stories, because there are so many stories out there that we are very much unaware of, that is not written in our history books, and
Yep.
we need to tell them. And that's kind of our responsibility, and kind of what I want to be doing and continue to do. But yes, I do believe that we are making noise, and we are going to continue making noise, and we're not going to be silent. And I mean, our film is being screened at the White House, which is so amazing, and
Wow,
and, and something that
that's awesome.
I just a little girl from Texas, and I'm just like, wow, that's so freaking cool and awesome, and we're getting to do that. That's really just inspiring in itself.
So when you received the script, how was your reaction about not only your character but the story?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not something that we see often, and as Latinos, we kind of get pigeonholed into certain roles. And seeing Latinos play golf is not something that you see almost ever. There are many Latino golf players, but they're not in the spotlight. So
Exactly.
I got the story, being able to portray something other than, I don't know, a gang member or something like that, or regular worker. I thought that was really special, and try to expose a different side of Latinos. And it's a true story that I never heard about. And once I read the script, I was just floored, and wanted to be a part of it so bad. It's an honor to play these characters, and their stories are absolutely incredible, as you know.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, Jose Julian, you worked on spare parts with also with Demian in A Better Life. Now you're in this film that goes way beyond representation, and that deals in a smart way with discrimination and racism that is still experienced in many countries. How do you compare this experience versus the films I mentioned that tackles the same challenges that Latino has to face every day? But in a different way.
Pues, this time it had more to do with the past, because the other films had a more contemporary setting.
Yeah, you're right.
But this one, we're going back, 100 years or 80 years, so that's another element of that experience that wasn't like those other films, where this time, that, like, if you thought it was bad in 2002, like, think about what it was like in the 1950s.
I agree. Beautiful. So, Miguel, have you worked before with Dennis Quaid? So how was this reunion after the big miracle?
Yeah, I mean, it's great, Dennis has such a illustrious career. He's worked for so long. He's a professional, and I mean, such an honor to have two projects with him, honestly. Just very excited for this go around even before we started. And I learned even more about him this time, his love for golf, and how he shows up on set. I mean, as a young actor trying to go up the ranks, what an honor to have such an amazing cast where we can kind of, learn from and move forward in our career.
Excellent. There's I'm gonna ask you a question for the both of you. There's a sequence. There's this scene that really shook me, and it's when you guys, your characters go to Mexico. Your characters also felt the rejection of your fellow Mexican Mexicanos, and this is one of the stigmas of being maybe a Latino born and raised in the States, or from Mexican descent in the States. So as artists, have you felt that rejection? Let me start with you, Jose.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember reading a book, a long time ago, about a Mexican American DEA agent, called Power of the Dog, and in it he describes that exact feeling, where he says, when you're Latino American, it's like you got your foot in both worlds but a place in neither. And I feel like that quote always stuck with me, and I totally feel that, and I think that's something that a lot of people who aren't Latino Americans don't understand about that experience. That it really does feel like you have your foot in both worlds, but you don't have a place in either one.
How about you, Miguel Ángel? What has been your experience? How has been your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jose was, was right on the point. It's difficult, us as Latinos in the United States, we don't feel like we're from here. When we go back to our home, places or where our parents are from, it's very difficult, you're always gringuito or fresa or whatever they might say. So, those themes I think are things that we go through, hopefully when people see the film they can resonate with that sort of thing of feeling alone at times and choosing your community to bring you up. And I think that's the part that's really important, when you do have a
Yeah.
community of filmmakers and people that are trying to bring each other up wherever they're from. um, that type of energy is really important, whether you are Latino or not.
Excelente, muchachos, gracias, de verdad se nota en pantalla, hacen un trabajo espectacular y la química, como mencioné, fue una de las cosas que más me llamó la atención porque se proyecta de una forma real y natural, así que gracias por tremendo proyecto y saber que es una historia basada en la vida real me voló la cabeza, así que
Sí.
espero mucho éxito, les deseo mucho éxito y que esta película llegue bien, 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 bien lejos y podamos seguir representando la cultura allá afuera, ¿ok? Gracias, muchachos, un fuerte abrazo desde Puerto Rico.
Muchas gracias, muchas
Muchas gracias, Felix.